I was going to save this video for next week, but like Dr. Disrespect in the Twitch chat, I simply couldn't wait. Going to be some firm handshakes in jail, boys. It's part 2 of why everyone is quitting League. We're getting into the best juicy bits in this part, and personally, in my opinion, the best visualization of how painful it is and how many bad games of ranked you need to play to get one enjoyable, balanced game of ranked, which is, you've got to stick around for that part. If you haven't watched part 1, don't worry, I'll do a quick summary now, which takes about 42 seconds, if that. In part 1, we've established level 30 Smurfs are so common, games are constantly imbalanced and decided in a lobby. Players take so long to reach their actual rank now with coin flip matches, poor match quality, and 3 splits a year now. The grind isn't rewarding or even worth it. A much better player, i.e. mid-beast, a challenger, has a 63% win rate in platinum. This is because there's so many people going 0-8 and give up and bad matchmaking and coin flip. A challenger can't even consistently carry in plat. It's ridiculous. But we're expecting an emerald player to be able to do that in plat. It's wild. And finally, and most importantly, we established mid-beast is the Michael Jordan of solo queue. He even got the same haircut. And all I'm saying is, have you ever seen mid-beast and Michael Jordan in the same room? I haven't. Not even once. Not even once. I'll leave that for you to do with that what you wish. And very quickly, so many comments on part 1, I couldn't keep up. There's 800 comments and growing of people just needing somewhere to vent their frustration about solo queue. I know some people wanted the full 40-minute video in one part, so I just want to ask, would you guys be interested in a video going through some of the top comments, people's frustrations? Kind of a video responding to that in a discussion, almost podcast style? Let me know. I hate the sound of my own voice, so I didn't think people wanted a 40-minute video, but the comments say otherwise. You guys are fucking mental. But yeah, let's get into it. Trolls. Starting with trolls. What are we doing here? How can a Nivia go 0-18, actively be toxic in chat, refuse to play, then immediately queue up and go 0-11 and still not be punished? Then we've got this op.gg, which is linked to a Reddit post we're going to get into of a Twisted Fate level 30 bought account just running it. Now, I will admit, I rarely get or see someone go legit 0-18. It doesn't happen often, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend it does. I'm trying to be fair, but it is becoming more common. The problem is, Nivia has gone 0-18 and not been punished. And shock, she's on a level 30 botted account, but she now knows if she loses lane, she can go 0-18 and try and force an FF at 15 and not be punished, which is beneficial for her. But now it's worse, the entire lobby knows if you lose lane, they can all run it and not be punished. And it literally, Riot is actively encouraging inting of a game if you're not the main character who's going to carry the game. My mate always says, a lot of people now, they don't queue up to win, they queue up to be the main character, and that's the big difference. And this is why match quality is in the gutter. If trolls were punished, this Nivia might have gone 0-4. And you know what? That's just a skill issue. I can work with a 0-4. We've all lost lane. We know it happens. She's having a shit game. I can't blame her, right? But we can work with a 0-4 actively trying to win. We can't work with a 0-18 and Nivia permanently running it down a side lane. Not even a single team fight in 40 minutes did she participate in. How did this team win? Well, they had a Cassante on their team. That's all you need to know. But she should be auto-banned. And people say, oh, what about false positives? That's cope. It's a fucking weak cope argument. No one is asking for a 0-5 top lane to be banned. It's a 0-18 Nivia that has to be auto banned. How can a third party website like League of Drafts see she's lost every single duel, see she's never been in a team fight, see she's completely trolling, but Riot can't? They 100% can. And then she goes 0-11 in the next game. The exact same shit. I've told you guys in part 1, I don't think there's that many trolls in the game. I think it's a very small percentage of the player base trolling hundreds of games on random level 30 accounts. With Vanguard, it would actually be nice if the program did something and hardware ban this Nivia for a week. She does it again, permanently hardware ban. And again, the reason, one of the big selling points of Vanguard is hardware ban. Because she's on a level 30, she can just go back to a main, buy a level 30, just continually troll. It needs to be hardware banned. That was a massive selling point of Vanguard, and I've not seen a troll bit get banned yet. If they hardware ban, that's trolling gone overnight, like massively reduced. Just the fear of hardware ban being a possibility will stop it. Let's look at the actual trolling that happens in almost every game. Like, I'm not even joking, in almost every game on one team or the other. This TikTok sums it up great.
League has a problem.
4-0, Aatrox is calling other people emerald shit. One person deciding for everyone the game is over. It's so annoying, bro. Seriously. One guy decides for everyone that the game is done. Like, how do you do that on a Monday morning? How are you like this kind of person? Of course, it's a 36 account. Of course. Vanguard, do your thing, please.
It's like if you could have ranked experience in a TikTok, this video is it. Aatrox06 calling everyone else trash on a level 30 account, probably playing in a higher elo than what his mains actually is, so he's just outclassed and frustrated and ruining the game. The team are winning, but this top lane is actively doing his best to make them lose because he isn't the carry, he isn't the main character, and his ego is hurt. And I'm fucking sick of it. You have 4 people commonly working towards a goal, enjoying ranked, the spirit of the game, the spirit of solo queue, and one person just ruins the entire game. It happens. Honestly, it's getting to the point where it's almost every game. This type of trolling is just disgustingly common. Like every other game, maybe every game. It's so bad. And 90% of the time, the flamer, the troll, the person running it down is level 30. Level 30 accounts are completely ruining the game. The skill gap, whether it's smurfing or reverse smurfing, makes matching completely imbalanceable. How do you accurately place someone who's level 30 versus accurately placing a Jinx who has 800 games on her account? It's impossible. And this is before they even decide to troll or be toxic. The trolling, toxic chat and ego is all level 30 accounts. It's a joke. It's a classic. My main is better than this rank, so you lot are all shit. Meanwhile, he's getting stomped in lane. It's infuriating. Why, as a player base, are we just forced to constantly have games ruined by trolls and complete arseholes, and Riot do literally nothing about it? I'm not even exaggerating when I say thousands of games, I've never had a single person banned for inting or trolling. I get so many messages they've been banned for saying a bad word, and thank you for keeping the community safe. Like, what? I don't care if my mid lane called that Aatrox or called that a Nivia a retard. I really don't. I am going to be able to sleep quite well at night knowing that the Aatrox been called a retard. What I do care about is 45 minutes of my time has been wasted, and we are keeping Aatrox safe from being called a retard? Like, agree or disagree with the use of the word, how ridiculous is that? Like, meanwhile, Aatrox is literally a solo queue terrorist, but the person venting their frustration is a bad guy, putting the community in danger. Give me a break. And this is why a lot of people have given up on the climb. I can play solo queue because I don't care about climbing anymore, and this Aatrox will not annoy me too much, which is quite sad that I have to give up on rank just because it's not worth the mental strain. But if you actually cared about ranking, having a game you are winning and one player ruins it, so you're 25 LP down instead of 25 LP up, so you're 50 LP gap, that is so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And I know people say, yeah, you can climb through it 100%, but you shouldn't have to. You really shouldn't have to. Now let's get on to bans. What are these 018 Nivias and these toxic Aatrox trolls being punished with? Nothing. Literally nothing. But call him a fucking idiot, call him a retard, you get chat banned. And this is where I completely give up on Riot. I lose my fucking mind. Instead of just banning someone for 48 hours or a week, they have to play 5 normal games. So now normal games are ruined by chat banned tilted people. Like, right, please, just ban a toxic player for a week. It's not hard. Normal should be a really good place to practice your off role. Say you're in a top laner and you want to practice Jinx, you should be able to go into normals and play that and have fun. But instead, normal quality is so bad because it's just full of like tilted toxic people on their chat bans, and Riot is literally programming the community to be like, yeah, normals is for idiots and toxic trolls. So that's how people treat it. And I honestly feel sorry for anyone who doesn't play ranked and just plays normals. I would be fuming. Even ARAMs, like people go into ARAMs and play 5 ARAM games. So the problem is, it genuinely makes sense. If you're a top laner and you want to learn ADC, you just buy another account and then don't give a fuck about it. And the cycle repeats himself. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I think I'm with most League players here. I don't care what you type. I don't care how many times you ping me. I actually quite enjoy it. And if I did, I can literally mute you in one button. It's one click. I press tab, I click mute. Okay, it's 2 buttons. It's 2 buttons, you've got me. You've got me. It's 2 buttons to mute somebody. But I can literally mute you. And the key thing is, that's in my control. What I do care about, and I think what everyone cares about, is someone solo losing the game, wasting 45 minutes of my time, but the chat gets punished and the trolling doesn't. It's infuriating. The chat ban situation is literally, if someone came to my house and smashed all my windows on my house so anyone could break in through my house, it wasn't safe to sleep in, and then Riot came along and were like, you're right lads, I've changed your door lock, by the way. I'd be like, mate, the problem is my fucking windows are smashed in. My door isn't the problem. What are you doing? And then Riot's just like, thank you for keeping the community safe. And this is kind of half caused by another major problem. It feels like League, and maybe the balance team, I don't know who actually is responsible for the chat ban, value statistics over like player experience, and so much like they can manipulate the statistics even though they pretend they're not to, they kind of are. League has basically become a single player game. No one types, no post-game lobby, no fun interactions. It's lonely, it's miserable, because Riot is so obsessed with zero bad chat interactions, they kill all interactions altogether. League has lost its soul, but there's a player survey which gives them data that says the player experience has improved. This isn't a Freak Hate video. I don't think he was the one responsible for it, but he's just a clip of like, he's the middleman explaining Riot's decision making.
Survey data around how communication tools feel spiked obviously positive when these things started coming in. If it didn't spike positively, if we didn't have very obvious results from our players saying that the game, like, this is not directed questions, right? This is just like, hey, we ask players every single patch, how do communication tools feel? As like, 1 through 5. How did communication feel in your last game, basically? And it's just like, always a 2.1. And somebody gives a 2.7. It's like, well, he's not the wrong number, by the way, but it's like, we didn't change the survey, we didn't change the methodology, we didn't change anything except that the literal game is different, and it does this, and it goes here. Guess what? The perception of communication has been better, so guess what? Seems to be positive for...
Now, I've done these surveys, and I'm sure a lot of you have as well. There is no way for me to just say, I hate trolls, I hate inters. I couldn't care less about chat. I miss the old chat. The game feels isolating. Yes, I have no negative experiences in chat anymore because there is no chat. Like, it sucks. And then Riot can be like, right, no negative experience. This is a net positive change. Well played, people. Like, an analogy. If I joined a running club with my mates and I enjoyed the running, but the chat was just great. I just loved going out, running for an hour, having a nice casual chat. But every mile, some random guy in the running club just ran up behind me and called me a wanker. That would be a negative experience. But instead of the running club just banning the one guy calling me a wanker, rightly or wrongly, they just make everyone run silently. So now I don't get called a wanker, but I don't get to talk to anyone normal. This sucks the soul out of the running club. It's not what I'm here for, and I just quit the running club. But if you asked me, has my negative experience improved? I mean, sure, I haven't been called a wanker, so yes, I guess my negative experience has improved. Has my overall experience improved? No, I've quit. It sucks. They literally introduced a bigger ping wheel because of how hard it is to communicate in such a complex game, and then they muted people from being able to ping your teammates. It's a fucking joke. It's just everything is like designed to frustrate you. You get a troll, you get an AFK, you get people flaming, you get poor matchmaking, and now you can't even communicate in a game. It is... I don't know why I play. And a great comment I got on the last video was, chat was a great way for people to blow off steam and vent their frustration. And yes, sure, if you could eliminate toxicity, go for it, but you can't, right? And it just gets shifted somewhere else. So now that they can't vent their frustration in chat, which players can mute, they show their frustration in-game. They flash TP on the spot. They give up. They go 0-18. I didn't even think of this until the comment, and it's actually mind-blowing, really. How many games have been ruined by this? I think every player would rather their top lane flame the entire team and try to win. And if you're upset by it, you can literally click 2 buttons and you can mute them. You have the power to control that. But we have a top lane, go 0-12 lose the game because he needs to vent his frustration somewhere, and it is completely out of your control. Makes the game miserable, but top will be chat banned and not be able to type, but if he ints, go and do it another 50 games. And again, this is just trying to get the message in, like, it's not just one thing, there's just so many frustration points in the game right now that they all add up. Does communication being completely gutted and almost single player game make me want to quit? No. Does that piled in with 15 other negative experiences in the game make me want to quit? Yes. Onto inflation and MMR. Sadly, Cloud Templar's post from Reddit has been deleted. How a former pro player and currently caster giving his thoughts on solo queue isn't valid on the Reddit is a joke. Cloud Templar is the super over-the-top Korean caster. For those of you who don't know, he'll be like, show-making, playmaking, playmaker. That was fucking... I'm going to cut that out, but...
쇼메이커의 플레이메이킹 메이커! 자, 메이킹 한번 했고요. 그러면 중요한 거죠. 지금 장도가 나와 있는 상태.
Obviously, he plays on the Korean solo queue ladder, which every streamer says is just the best ladder, and even then, this is what he has to say on it. From memory, because it was deleted, he was saying, games are so coin flippy and bad quality. A legit gold player can coin flip a winning bot so many times, he has gold players in his diamond games, and the skill gap becomes so big it ruins the game. And if a gold player is auto-filled in his diamond game, it's just so over. Like, the skill gap is just disgusting. The quality of his games are so bad, again, due to the other factors I've mentioned, and this, how coin flippy the nature is. While again, I think you'll hit your true rank if you play enough games, there are so many gold players in diamond and diamond players in gold because of how poor quality the match is at the minute. I couldn't find a translated video, and obviously the post has been deleted, but if anyone can let me know, I'll pin it in the comments, as I'd like to watch it for myself. This relates to part 1 of a few comments pick up on it. In the same vein that we have Smurfs, we equally have a game of, say, 5 emeralds versus 5 level 30s who just bought an account and are actually silver players, and the match quality is shit. You could have a really fair diamond game that's going to be a really enjoyable game, but a silver level 30 bought account in the jungle and the game's just over. 9 equally matched players and 1 botted account, the game is ruined. Again, anyone saying this doesn't happen, which is like 5% of the comments, a Korean diamond caster, ex-pro player, who has every reason not to speak negative about League, might even get in trouble for it, has said enough is enough, he can't do it anymore. The general opinions and frustrations I got from the comments in the first part are silver players don't care they're silver, diamond players don't care they're diamond, they just want a fair game against their own rank. A silver player doesn't want to lane versus an emerald, it's not fun. At the same time, a diamond doesn't want to lane versus a grandmaster. Everyone just wants a fair game versus their own ranked. And again, this goes both ways. A diamond is frustrated, they also somehow have to carry a boosted gold player in their same game. It's ridiculous. So this is a genuine checklist you have to complete to have a satisfying game of League, and this is ignoring winning or losing, by the way, just a fair, balanced, enjoyable game, which should be the goal, that 100% of your League games are going to be fun and fair. And you can just see how many hurdles are to stop you from happening. Are the accounts equally matched, i.e. the Smurfs? No, game's ruined. Literally, before you get into anything else, if the accounts aren't equally matched, game ruined. Okay, let's say yes, they are. Are there any level 30s? Yes, game ruined. That's 2 games just gone. For an hour and a half of your time just gone before the game's even started. A level 30, again, doesn't have to be smurfing, could be literally they're a silver and a diamond game. Auto fills equally, whatever. So you know when you've got like a team where your support is jungle, your ADC's top, and your mid is support, and they're 5 on-roll people. Even if you're all the same rank on your mains, the difference between a support in support and a support in jungle is literally like emerald to silver, genuinely. But let's say yes. Has champ select been trolled? This troll, mate, I wrote this very fast. Let's ignore the spelling or any of it, right? But so has it been trolled? Always ban Shaco. Shaco is the most banned champ in the game. Shaco players don't hover it, and then they're like, why would you ban Shaco? And everyone in the lobby is like, he's not a mind reader, you fucking idiot. But then the Shaco will go and troll the game. Someone will troll the game if they, you know what I mean. Let's say again, yes, it's happened. Game ruined. So there's 3 games gone. Now you literally have to go back to the top of the flowchart. Are the accounts equally matched? No, game ruined. 5 games gone. Let's actually run through it now. So we know all this bit, and then we get to, has champ select been trolled? No. Now we're actually in the game. Has bot lane been coin flipped? I didn't give a yes or no answer because every game bot lane has been coin flipped, and it's not a game ruined or game won. It is you lose if you've lost the coin flip, and you win if you win the coin flip. Bot will go 8-0 or 0-8. And in their defense, it's a very snowbally lane, and I think you might not even get trolled sometimes. It might literally be that mid and jungle has ganked bot, and then once you're behind bot, it is very hard. It's very snowbally, very diveable, but bot lanes could definitely play safer. Did top lane get ganked at 3 minutes 15, the gank timer that happens in every single League of Legends game, and they didn't ward? Yes. They decided to then run it down and type jungle diff. Game ruined. So we're 3 minutes into the game, and the game's had 2 options to be ruined. Then this is not so much a troll, this is just a balance. This is the only balancing thing I'm going to talk about in this game. I fucking hate void grubs with a passion. With a passion. The objective overall is good, but what's happened is, now at 5 minutes into the game, top lane and jungle, and maybe mid, will just coin flip. 5 minutes into the game, the game's decided. Because you go 3 void grubs down, top and jungle both die. Now top jungle are both losing. And it's not that they're losing, it's that they're going to tilt, troll. I hate it. I hate every time. Genuinely, I will see a jungle, not vision clear, and just go and do void grubs on vision, get killed, and then get tilted at the team. Or vice versa. If their top mid jungle are all on void grabs, our jungle will try and 1v3. For what? I don't get it, because this is so unrelated, but even if you steal one void grab, right, it's fucking useless. If you go hop over the wall, smite the dragon, you get the entire objective, and it is probably worth dying for. If you smite one void grab, you get a sixth of the objective. Like, I hate them. I hate them. But anyway, yes, game ruined. Top jungle have just ran it down. Does your team... Now, let's just say everything's gone right, okay? There's so many other things I'm sure you can fill me on the comments that are where the game can go wrong, and it's just frustrating. But now let's say you've got all the way in, you're 40 minutes in, you're into the team fighting. Does your team just give up? Yes, game ruined. No, congratulations, you actually had a fun game. The amount of times, genuinely, just to quote from another game, we had a Nico, I think she was mid, and we were losing. Our top lane was split pushing, and it was like the third Drake, and we just couldn't contest the Drake. We were losing every team fight. The only way we contest the Drake is if two of them go for top lane. They didn't go for top lane. Top lane got an inhib. You know what? That's as good as we're going to get, right? The Nico is just like 40 minutes into the game. If you guys don't want objectives, I'm not here to play. And just goes AFK. I've wasted 40 minutes of my life. The game is so close. We're not so far behind, it's unwinnable. And we've got an inhib. They haven't even got soul. And it's like... even 40 minutes in, your game could be ruined. You feel on edge. You can't communicate with your team. Because if you type to that top laner, group please, even though they shouldn't, they might just go, fuck you. Game's ruined. Everyone is so fragile, but yeah, that is the flowchart of everything that has to go right. Genuinely, I probably could have doubled this. I just couldn't think of it all off the top of my head. But it's so common. I don't think people understand that this is like a 50-50. This is like a 50-50. So already we're into like, there's like a 10% chance of we even get to this part of the flowchart. You genuinely have to have like 10, 15 bad games before you get that epic, super satisfying 40-minute team fight game. Win or lose, by the way, I don't care. Win or lose, I'm all after that 40-minute adrenaline rush. It's tense, great game. And that's why we're playing the game, by the way, because we know when the game is at its peak, it is incredible. This game has so many problems, and so many of them are caused by terrible player attitudes, which have got worse and worse and worse because there's zero punishment for it. The player base is genuinely like children who acts like their parents never told them off, so their behaviour just gets worse and worse over time. And then the just ridiculous amount of poor matchmaking and level 30s in the game. I can't do it anymore. Like, this doesn't even include the non-trolling issues, like, 40 minutes in a game right before Alder, the jungle gets caught blindly walking into the jungle and dies. That's super frustrating. But that's a skill issue. It happens. I can accept it. But there's just so many things in the game designed to tilt you. The worst part of this checklist and all the other problems I've mentioned as well, I've played a lot of Clash with pre-mades, so this checklist basically gets eliminated. And genuinely, it is the most fun I've ever had in a competitive game ever. We can argue the balancing isn't great at the minute. There's so many problems, but even with bad balancing, Clash is incredible when everyone's trying, when there's no trolls. Win or lose a game, it is incredibly fun. You're all on mic talking. It's so much better communicating through voice comms, but sadly Riot's negligence or stupidity is killing the game. Ranked is on my scale right now not worth the grind to care about your rank anymore, and maybe not worth the grind at all. It requires a silly amount of time. The game's a coin flip. The trolls, the smurf, make every game miserable. The games do not get better the higher you climb, which used to be like an old myth. The game quality is just as bad as silver as it is in diamond. There is no incentive to climb. And in the case the game is good, one player not winning lane often just decides to lose your game for you because their ego is just ruined. People don't understand this. You can lose lane 0-1, 0-2. The only way you go 0-8 in lane is trolling and giving up. So yes, you can and will hit your deserved ranked after God knows how many games, 3 splits a year. But aren't games meant to be fun and ranked and have competitive integrity? You gotta ask yourself, is it worth grinding 500 games of trolls, smurfs, level 30s, crybabies? I think since season 13, the answer has been no. Lord knows how long that video is going to be, guys, but yeah, let me know if you want me to go through the comments. There was just so many, and there was actually some really good ones, because I'd like to go through some that I disagree with as well. Like, not in like a, oh, look at this guy's so wrong, but I think it's genuinely like interesting to talk about different viewpoints. But yeah, we'll see. Again, if you've made it this far, you are a goat. The channel is fucking blowing up. It's been zigzalted. It's crazy. We're flying, having fun, addicted to making videos at the minute. So yeah, just a big thank you, and see you as always in a couple of days with another video. I'm hopefully going to move away from moaning about ranked, but just so much fun.